What's up, everybody? The Naked Gun, the new version, hit theaters last week, and we've got to keep this thing chugging along at the box office because it is easily the best comedy in at least the last decade. Let's dive in. I've never laughed like this in a movie theater before. Is this movie, Liam Neeson, Pamela Anderson, the rest of the cast, and all the creatives behind this simply knocked it out of the park. The cast bought into the absurdity brought by the creatives, and it brings us a movie that couldn't take itself less seriously while also being incredibly clever with a great understanding for comedic timing. That started right away too. They wasted no time. The opening scene with the plot device heist in the bank moving into the fight where Liam Neeson is hiding as the little girl going into the bank. Perfect. For one, if you didn't know what you're walking into with this movie, it sets the tone immediately with no confusion, but mostly it's just comedic action is always great, at least for me. But to be fair, this movie was just great for me as almost all the jokes hit. I might even say, honestly, yeah, I might say all of them hit because I can't remember one that didn't off the top of my head, and it was just such a wide variety too. You've got the quick hitters of the morning drinking joke, the black eyed peas retarded joke, which was crazy. That caught me so off guard when I saw this movie for the first time. The Spirit Halloween bit with the police squad being shut down was great, and the Priscilla cameo being when Frank's naked from the waist down on TV. It's amazing. Then you also had the bits that carried entire scenes of the movie, like the Pamela Anderson introduction scene where she drags that chair out of police squad, the e-car, letting the prisoners out, and that right there, that was peak Frank Drebin, the chili dog disaster, the infrared with the dog, that was crazy. You see it in the trailer, and it's funny as is with just a blowjob, but then the dog gets involved in the movie. It's insane. The Mission Impossible impression was great. It just keeps unfolding. It's like the Russian doll, and maybe my favorite bit, the snowman bit. However, what I thought they did best was just going over the top in the weirdest ways possible. I mean, that toilet begging for brown joke is one of the craziest things that I've ever heard. Pam Anderson does the most original jazz number, and I don't mean original in a good way, that you've ever seen. One I'd say is worthy of even being performed in Jabba's palace on Tatooine, all to be topped off with Frank Sr.'s cameo being in the form of a fucking owl. It's so damn ridiculous. Then with all that going on, they also throw running bits at you and they're just as good. The coffee one is just so random, but it hits every time. The whole Miss Cherry Rosenfeld, fat bozo chowing on spaghetti thing being pointless by the end of the movie was hilarious. The snapping of the phones was great. Ed had drinks with some kids after fighting them, and speaking of fights, that Fergalicious fight towards the end of the movie, best of them all. But focusing on the cast, and I didn't even mention everything there, this is truly a laugh-a-minute movie. I did not know that Liam Neeson had this in his bag. To me, he's always going to be Qui-Gon, Father of Revenge, and all those movies, which they do poke fun at the end of this movie, and also a terrible Ra's al Ghul. After this, though, I want 50 Liam Neeson comedies because he's the man. Everything from his deadpans to his timing. It might have been because I was so surprised by what he was doing, but it was great. He's not the only one, though, as Pamela Anderson is fully bought into this shtick of the movie, and that jazz bit that I mentioned will genuinely be in my mind forever. It was absurd. Those two, they also had incredible chemistry, which boosted everything in the movie with them. They must have been banging after day one on set. But all jokes aside, I thought Danny Houston was just okay in the movie. He didn't necessarily have the best part in the movie out of everybody, but someone who made a ton out of nothing, almost nothing that is. He had some great scenes that were written for him and made Houston's side of the story a lot better. Was Kevin Durant, who I'd love to see join James Gunn's DCU, but we can talk about that another time. It's got nothing to do with this. Although, now that I mentioned Gunn, Dave Bautista, he has a great cameo towards the end of the movie, and with wrestlers on mind, so did Cody Rhodes in the middle of it. Finally, I mentioned at the beginning of the video that this movie couldn't have taken itself less seriously, and while that is true, there's also these quick scenes where Frank is driving around and Liam's voicing over the scene, and it just feels like that the old Rockstar game LA Noire. Even just how the investigation is unfolding and the auto drive scenes too. It's if you've played the game, I think you know what I mean by that. Then you've got the Samuel Jackson Kingsman movie basically serving as the plot for this one. Evil businessman makes people go crazy and hides in a disco bunker. But they nailed the vibe of those original Naked Gun movies, just like Liam Frank says in this movie. I want to be just like you, Daddy, but kinda different. This was a quick and endlessly entertaining movie, and probably the funniest movie that I've ever seen in theaters. And so that's going to do it for my review of the newest Naked Gun. Let me know what you thought of the movie down in the comments below and make sure you have a great day.